I'm a guy that mostly plays metal and hard rock. So when you ask me who my top 5 favorite guitarists are, you're probably surprised if one of the people that I mention is a guy from a pop band named Journey. Well, I'm here to tell you that as many millions of fans as he and his band Journey have, I actually think he's still kind of an underrated guitarist. So today we're going to look at the top 5 habits or things that he does that influenced me and helped form the foundation of my own style, and hopefully it does that for you too. When people think of Journey, they generally think of those big pop ballads that make all the lady fans swoon. And so when a kind of shredder metal guy like me talks about their guitar player, it might seem like a little bit of a disconnect. But more importantly, Neal has got plenty of chops, and he writes parts, hey buddy, that are as emotionally relevant as the soaring vocals in the songs of his band. Now, Neal didn't actually start out with Journey. He actually was in Santana in the early 70s, playing some pretty progressive music. And for that matter, when Journey started out, they were also more of a prog rock band than the version almost everyone knows of today. That's all music history lessons, though. And as I said before, we're here to talk about 5 things that Neal does that might broaden your own horizons on guitar. So I'm going to start with about 40 seconds of music here, which incorporate all 5 of these things, and then we'll come back over here and talk about each one of them. So the first thing here, which is the first thing that I did in that little piece of music, is melody. It should seem obvious and almost duh, but it's surprising how often, especially in music with vocals and even the modern hard rock and metal stuff, how few players actually reach for a melody first and just go to shredding and playing a bunch of random licks. Just about every song that Journey does, when they get to the guitar solo, he's playing a melody that you could sing along with as well as you could sing the vocals. The first one that comes to mind is the solo from Faithfully. Here in the mini piece of music, right away I went for that melody piece. Which I realized after I play it, I kind of ripped off a Night Ranger song. But it's the first thing that came to mind, and that's what I wanted to get in there first and kind of go to and come back to and really make the solo kind of relevant melodically and emotionally. The second little habit I got from Neal that I like to use a lot is these little fast staccato build-ups, either right into a melody or a bend. I did it there in the one spot. It's a nice little way to show off a little bit of shred and get into something a different way than just raking or going right to the note. It gives you some flash and it's a lot of fun to do. The third thing I picked up from Neal is a way to make your boomer bends a little less boomery. Yeah, those. So something that Neal does, and Only the Good Die Young is the one that comes to mind, or the song that comes to mind where I see him do this a lot, is to bend with your first finger, especially when you're in the pentatonic box. It's going to force you out of the box a little bit. In this song, I played an F sharp minor in the example there. And you got your basic bends there, those whole step. You know, the boomer bends as they're called, or as they're recently called. And on the second string, you have this cool half step bend, which puts you more into the full minor scale. This one here. And that whole step bend there. It's got a nice melodic quality to it and breaks you out of some of the habit of just playing the same old pentatonic whole step bends. Now for number 4, it's a simple thing, but not something that I say used very often, and it's what I did in the solo there, where I was using the bar and doing bar dips in time with the beat. It's something I like to do. It's got a cool quality to it, and you've got this tremolo arm, or if you have a guitar with one, and everyone does the big dive bombs with it, but it's nice to do tasteful things with it like that, play them in time or dip into notes. So think about different ways to use your bar, and that was one example I got from Neal. And the last thing here, which I see him do all the time, is when he's building to that kind of climactic part of the solo where he wants to play fast, he'll often go quickly down a pentatonic scale and then back up again. And the example of the song there, you heard me do it in fives because it's one of my favorite things. He'll do a triplet thing like and then start working his way back up. Or whatever it is, the pattern that he plays. I wasn't looking to copy his patterns or his licks exactly, just the basic concept. So for me, I went down in quintuplets and then just started kind of tremolo picking my way up. It's just a cool way to have a climax in a solo and do something that's got a bit of a shredder feel to it without going full-on Yngwie Malmsteen. So there they are, 5 quick concepts and ideas that I got from a great lead guitar player whose melodies have always inspired me. And I hope that these concepts can kind of form some foundations for you too and give you ideas that maybe you didn't have before. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And until next time, guys, keep making great music.
Hey friends, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. It makes the whole world better.